All right, today we're diving into one of the wildest, most vivid books in the Old Testament, Ezekiel. You've got this incredible story of devastating judgment, sure, but it's also about a radical kind of hope delivered to a people who felt like they'd lost everything. Let's get right into it. So first things first, to really get this book, you have to picture the scene. We are not in Israel. The people have been conquered, defeated, and dragged from their homes. They are exiles living in a foreign land, Babylon. I mean, everything they've ever known has just been completely shattered. And right into the middle of all this chaos and despair steps our guy, Ezekiel. Now, he was a priest. His entire life was supposed to be about the temple in Jerusalem. But now he's hundreds of miles from home, and God calls him to be a prophet with a monumental task ahead of him. So what was this monumental task? Well, for basically the first half of the book, his job was to deliver a message that absolutely nobody wanted to hear, a message of judgment. Let's break down why it was so necessary. The problem really boiled down to two huge issues. First, the people had just turned their backs on God. Idolatry was everywhere. And second, this was a massive violation of their covenant, that sacred agreement they had with God. To put it simply, they had broken all their promises. So the consequences Ezekiel prophesied were just devastating. He tells them their holy city, Jerusalem, and even the sacred temple itself, the very center of their universe, would be destroyed. For people already in exile, this was an unthinkable, soul-crushing catastrophe. Now here's where things get really interesting. Ezekiel didn't just stand on a soapbox and preach. The way he delivered these messages was every bit as dramatic and unforgettable as the messages themselves. We're talking visions and really strange symbolic actions. I mean, think about it. How do you get through to people who have completely tuned out? How do you make them feel the weight of what's happening? Well, Ezekiel's methods were designed to be absolutely impossible to ignore. For starters, he had these incredible, almost psychedelic visions. The most famous one is of God's throne chariot, this insane, mobile throne of fire and light and wheels within wheels. The message was powerful. God wasn't trapped back in the temple. He was here, with them, even in exile. But honestly, what's even wilder is that he didn't just talk about the prophecies. God commanded him to perform them. He literally became a living, breathing piece of street theater, acting out the message for everyone to see. For instance, he's told to eat a scroll with God's words on it. Yep, eat it. It was a way of showing he had to internalize the message, whether it was sweet or bitter. And then he had to lie on his left side for 390 days and his right for 40, each day representing a year of punishment. Can you imagine seeing that every day? This guy just lying there, silently acting out your fate. It wasn't a sermon, it was performance art with the highest stakes imaginable. So after all this doom and gloom, Ezekiel's prophecy comes true. News arrives, Jerusalem has fallen. And right there, at the absolute darkest moment, the entire book pivots. The message shifts, like a light flipping on, from judgment to this incredible glimmer of hope. Suddenly, the central question is this it? Is this the end of the road? With their nation in ruins, their connection to God seemingly severed forever, is the story over? And Ezekiel's answer is a powerful, resounding no. And this right here shows you the book's structure perfectly. You can see that clear divide. The first half is all about judgment, prophecies of punishment, the temple destroyed, God's glory leaving. But then, look at the second half. It's a complete reversal. Now we're talking about visions of restoration, a new temple, and God's glory coming back home. So let's talk about this future of restoration. Because this isn't just about rebuilding what was lost. It's about a complete transformation. It's about a future that's designed to be even better than the past. Ezekiel's visions paint this absolutely breathtaking picture of the future. He sees a new, perfect temple being built. He sees God's own glory returning to fill that place. He sees God himself ruling from Jerusalem. And the foundation for all of it? The promise of a renewed covenant, a totally fresh start for the relationship between God and his people. But the book's most profound promise, the real knockout punch, goes so much deeper than rebuilding cities and temples. It gets to the root of the entire problem, the human heart itself. And here it is, the ultimate promise, straight from the text. God says, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. He says he'll perform a kind of spiritual surgery, remove their stubborn, rebellious heart of stone, and give them a responsive, living heart of flesh. This is the real solution.
You see, what Ezekiel's showing us is the fundamental flaw in the old system. For a new covenant to actually work, the people themselves had to be fundamentally changed. The ultimate hope wasn't a new building. It was a new kind of humanity, one that was transformed from the inside out, able to finally live in a real partnership with God.
And that leaves us with this final, powerful question that echoes way beyond ancient history. It's a question for all of us, really. What does it actually mean for a community or for any one of us, not just to be rebuilt on the outside, but to be truly reborn from the inside out?